1 second. So over here again, that Eliyahu is the source that allows Rachel at Mincha time to go up. That's that energy. But the Tefillas Arvis, Lo Na'asa Tikkun Zed, then that's not the time of Eliyahu. And that Tikkun, what he means by the Tikkun is also, he brings her Shefa, but I'm not sure what it builds her up. Al Yedei Eliyahu, V'lechein Nish'ara Rachel Lomada, so therefore Rachel remains down below. V'lechein Hagan Shebebechinas HaYichud Hoyetzarek L'Chiyos Tefillas Arvis Gavohu Yosef B'Mincha. This is another question that he had, I think, as he says that since the Yichud that's taking place is in a higher level, Yosef B'Mincha, we call Makom B'Zech Sheyesh Yanikas Akali B'Mena, but since there's the Nika of Kali in regards to that time, Shebizman Arvis Rachel Nemses Rak L'Mata B'Chazeh, the Mata of the Chaz is the place that the Kali are located. Uvkach, and so therefore Yesh the Kali Achizabah. So therefore this is a more dangerous time. You don't have Eliyahu over here, V'lechein B'Tefilas Arvis Yesh Ba Yoser Dinim Memencha. Okay, I think that's probably where we left off last time. Now we're going to go to number Ayin Tes. So Ayin Tes, let's see, actually, we're just going to read the top because the top isn't contained on the next page. He said, now we're going to go to Avchatzos Laila. So now we understand the differences between Mincha and Maariv, even though that in Maariv time, there was a blurb on that too. Let me see. Well, let's just look at the next one and see if that's the one I was looking for. That would be number Ayin Daled down below. And number Ayin Daled would say like this: V'nibsa zivug zed arvis shehem Yaakov Leah shneichem l'malam in achazim. Davar zed sarach iyun sarach bir. He says ba'arvis sheniknasim rak havok the abba va'ima. So you only had the vakim coming in. Lo niktasich gar klal, that the gar doesn't come in at all. You only have that part. Hula malam mechachaza, but it's up above the chaza. Now he says, "V'b'shachris." This is just an interesting point that he puts over here. He says he has his questions. V'b'shachris sheniknasim gam kol hagar the abba v'ima. Hayichud bo hu shall ya. Okay, we'll hold for a minute. So once again, up at the top of the column, he says that what enters into Zeranpin is only the vok of Abba Ve'ima, lo niktasach bebar gar klal, and there's no gar that comes in at all. So he says, so therefore, because of that, the yichud l'malam in the chaza, the yichud has to be up above the chaza. So v'shachris sheniknasim gam kol hagar the Abba Ve'ima. So in shachris, when all of the gar comes in, Hayichu shall Yaakov Arachol Lamata Minachos. And then the Yichud is going to take place in a lower place. Nimsa shall Yichud Shahu Babakum Yosef Gavoa. So it says, let's face it, he says that the Yichud Lamala Minachos is a higher level Yichud, Bezah Ba'arvis. The man she'ein safik shall Yichud the Shakris who Harbe Yosef Gavoa. Nobody doubts that the Yichud is the higher level in the morning. Agam sheyesh tam b'zeh, even though there's a reason in this, because sheniknasim rak avok shalamochin, that only have the vok of the mochin coming in. Hayisod the ima magia b'dash el zer anpin, it reaches, at that case, the yisod of ima is only at the das of zer anpin. But the chem gan b'menchach yichud hu shal yisrael leil l'malam and the that happens also. Abakol zos tzarech l'chavin. Let's say that the yichud is taking place in the upper section, the upper 1/3 of Zeranpin. Because it's a higher level. If you look at it in this way, it's really a higher level because it's a level of ruach. The yichud is taking place at a higher level. So if the yichud though is a nai, which is the case of the yichud with Rachel and Yaakov, who b'makom nomoch Yosef, who b'bechinas nefesh was on the v'tzarach iyon. So you just want to throw that in give you an idea. There's another way to look at this, possibly, and that's what he says. So let's read across the top over here on Ayin Tes, and then we'll come over to the next part. We'll get ourselves set up so that we'll be able to look at this. He said, "V'v'chatzis alayla, azhu chazivug revi ba'ofen acher." So this is going to be something different. V'hu zivug Yaakov Leah b'pnei Zah. This is a yichud that takes place between Yaakov and Leah on the front of Zah. V'hem shavim b'kumazim b'kol orech kumazah, and their whole they reach the whole height of Zeir Anpin. So, just a drink here. So it says, let's go on to the light print on page Pei. There we go. So yichud revi hu yichud dechatzis alayla. V'hu na'asach yedech of kriya shema shalamita, and how is it done? Through kriya shema shalamita. She'az Yaakov nizgado b'kol kumas Zeir Anpin mamash, because then Yaakov grows up to the entire height of Zeir Anpin. So v'hahevdol bein yichud zechav d'sharcha yichudim hu. Shekol yichudim and na'asem yedech tefilus, all the yichudim that take place. Tuluyim heim lefi gilui ha'orish al ava ve'imba b'socha Zeir Anpin. It take place because of some level of the lights of because it's a Shmona Esrei here and a Shema in two of the three places. He said lefi gilui ha'orish al ava ve'imba b'socha Zah could go b'tefilas Arvis, like in Arvis time. Shenik nasim rak kavok the imba v'avok the abba. So at this time, that's what happens, that the lights are all up above the chaz of Zeir Anpin. Below Yordim, the mata b'chachaza, they don't go down at all. Etc. Or it could be also Yaakov, Yisrael, and Leah. But now at night time, Shlemus is completely at the height, whole height of Zeir Anpin. The Beyuchud, the Chatzos Yaakov Nizgado Gam Lamala Bechachazi, he grows up also to be not just below the Chazi, he goes all the way up to the Tavel, the Leah Nispashta, Lamata Chapechatzov Siyam Roglov, the Zan, she goes all the way down to the bottom on the backside. V'shnechem is godly b'kol kumas as their anfin mamash, and then I guess you would say that she comes around to the front, and there's a yichud that takes place. V'tam adavar, who the reason why this is taking place and that this height is changed, the fisha b'techilas alayla, because this is what happens at the beginning of the night. Kriya shema the Arvis lokoch Leah takes Osa ma'aro shal mochin the sheish kitzvos the betzad ima keneska. She takes the 6 kitzvos from the side of Ima. V'achar tefilas Arvis, this stalkul the mochin the zad, then all the mochin leaves zad, v'chaz shechot Leah the bakoma ach ba'ach, and she goes back. So if the yichud, she's on the front, but now she bounces back. So he says, Shabbat tefilas Maariv, excuse me, so in Maariv they both go in. Yaakov and Leah keep the and what happens is that what Maariv Yaakov and Leah keep the osam v'nisaknim al yadam, so that Yaakov and Leah, they receive them and they're rebuilt through them. I'll explain this out a little bit better. He says, the tefillas of Arvish nistalk in the mochin but parts of Leah. He says, Chazor lehios Leah. Okay, we're back. V'lakach la'achad tefilas Arvish l'mishtalkim ha'mochim b'parts of Leah. Chazu the yos Leah ach ba'ach im Zeir Anpin. He said this, repeating this. V'oz mischilim abba v'imba the v'noisa. So what happens now is that Abba v'imba start the building Leah. So he said v'lahachni v'lahachzer b'socha mochim, to bring all the mochim back into her, bring her back directly into her, like into the Sirah. Uman ume'oz ad ata b'chatzis alayla, and from them until now at midnight. Hoyu Abba ve'Iba Mesachnim Ubonim Osa, they were building her up, Bihi Yosa Ach Ba'ach, while she's Ach Ba'ach, because the Mochim, instead of going to Zer Anpin, over to the Nook side, are going into her. I assume that's what he means, directly. Kamavura V'Tzleda B'Sech Shkivas Alayla, V'Ayin Sham, so you should look over there and get an idea, he says. So he says, there's Boyer La'el, so it's been explained up above, Shechazech B'Chetzech HaRishon Shel Alayla, Hubadardema. So it's going back over this. It's like us. We have to go to sleep at night. Adam Yashim Balayla, just like a person sleeps at nighttime. So therefore we see that in Zer Anpin there's also an aspect of sleep. And now we see that he's in this matzav. He's in a deep sleep and he's sleeping. Leah omedes ach ba'ach, she's now back to back. V'oz abba ve'ima mesaktim as parts of Leah b'boinim mesosa, then they come into her. And mechidim also prepare her kadesh yuchul hiskayim yichud im Leah b'chatzis alayla, so that she would be in a position to make a yichud when chatzis alayla comes. So he says this in the period kamosh yavor. So this in the period before chatzos, but after Maariv. Excuse me. So then, in the first half of the night, she has all this coming into her. They spread out through the entire body of Zer Anpin. So when the Nai comes in, it spreads to the entire body of Zer Anpin, all the stature of Zer Anpin from top to bottom. Now here's the Netzach, so he's talking about the right side. So this is what's happening before you get to midnight. This is what's going on. Is that they're pouring into Malchus and building her up. Shatuchel to his gadol. What's the reason? And thus you should be able to grow achrechatzot for the hiyos called kumas Zer Anpin, and she could now be the whole height of Zer Anpin. That sounds to me like she should be making a yichud with Zer Anpin. He says like this, just like when we build up Rachel, and she comes around to the front, she's a yichud with Zah. But here we says it's not going to say that. So he said, in coming into midnight, then she comes face to face in Yaakov, in order to build him up, as she mentioned. She has the koach to be able to grow up to the entire height of Zer Anpin. So the yichud is going to be face to face in Leah. So now let's see what we say. As Leah. So therefore she grows up to the entire height of Zer Anpin. So this is like 3 times he said this particular thing. So then what happens is that, okay, we understand that Rachel is now not in the in Atzilus anymore. So we get into that about what Rachel's doing in Bria. But now what's going on with Yaakov? So here you have a situation where Zer Anpin is sleeping and the Mochin go into after Maariv, the Mochin then go into Leah. But what about Yaakov? So Gam Inyid Yaakov Kuba Ofen Zeh. Whoa. Hey. Okay. Agam Yinyan Yaakov hu ba'ofen zeh. Why? Ki hinei b'chatzas harishon shel halayla kushenik nasim nanai the ava v'iba b'toch v'leil l'hagdir l'kanizkar hinei oz hi yotzes b'chinas Yaakov b'toch Leah. Now this is that says that is that there's an aspect of Yaakov that comes out from the midst of Leah. Now, okay, the Gam Yaakov Shemekoma Mechaza Lamada. Yaakov is also from that place, the same place that he's the place where Rachel used to be, and he's below the Chaza. Benasa called Kumas Zeranpin. Of his man Chetze Arishon Shalalayla, and at the time of the first half of the nighttime, Mistalkim Amochim Mizad, and the Mochim leave Zeranpin. V'no fellas along Tardema. So now you have a sleeping Zeranpin. Of his man Hazera Neknasim Batoch Leah Hamochen the Godless Bain Shel Abba Bain Shel Ima. Now I don't know how familiar you are with this story of Purim, but he seems to be wanting to say the same idea here. She'achar kach yotzes umeirim al yedera the parts of Leah. So after that, he's going to come out and it's going to shine through the parts of Leah. He says al yedei Leah through the help of Leah. Let's see, oras the abba naas the parts of Yaakov, and so now Yaakov is made always in any case out of the oros of Yaakov. So we had over there in Purim the concept that the Yesod of Abba is much longer than the Yesod of Ima. So therefore it extends all the way through, because the Nook is short to begin with. So therefore it extends all the way through her Yesod and goes out the other side. How did they grow? Because of receiving these lights. Gan Yaakov the parts of Leah, so now he's coming, those that are extending out from the parts of Leah, that's my understanding. Mizgalo al yedei zeh. It becomes the same height as Zah. Now, v'oz shnechem gedolim kol kumbas zer anpen, and now both of them are large. The whole side is zer anpen. B'kach naasa yehudim. Okay, I guess we'll stop here and we'll pick up we'll go to the Sifra Tzniuta, and we'll try to figure out some of this here and get prepared for tomorrow. Okay,